Hi there, Pratik. So you've sent us an essay. I'm very happy to see that. Let's take a look at what you wrote. The topic is, crime is a growing problem on a global scale. Some think that crime prevention rather than punishment is the key to solving the problem. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Let's see. With the escalation in crime rates throughout the world, people are pushed to think about this alarming issue. Numerous individuals believe in ceasing felonies from root in lieu of charging the culprits later. I completely concur with this school of thought. In my essay further on, I will enunciate ideas in support of my opinion along with stating contradictory view that others in the society might have. Okay, so the good news is that the structure of your introduction is appropriate. It's good. You've written the right elements that you should have in an introduction. My issue with your introduction is that you, in your attempt to show your range of vocabulary, have used some vocabulary that is inappropriate. It doesn't fit. It doesn't create the collocations that you want it to create. And so it's a little problematic. There was, I think, one little grammatical error. So what I'd like to do is rewrite this introduction with the with more appropriate language, okay? So let's try it again. With the escalation in crime rate, okay, fine. With the escalation in crime rates throughout the world, people have begun to think about this alarming issue. This was awkward for me, really awkward. There are many who believe that crime must be thwarted from its beginnings, or crime must be dealt with before it begins, or that prevention is key. Some people believe that preventing crime is far better than punishing crime. Okay, so there were a ton of things you could have said that felt far more natural than what you actually wrote. Okay? I completely concur with the school of thought. All right, that's fine. In this essay, yeah, it's fine. It's just, you don't have to go to all this trouble. You could just say, in this essay, I will enunciate ideas. Yeah, that felt a little unnatural to me. I will enunciate ideas. So in this essay, I will provide arguments in support of my opinion along with now, this doesn't really make sense. Why are you providing contradictory views? If they are part of your view, and if they, if you can see some value to them, okay? So in other words, you're not 100%. You told us right now that you completely concur with the school of thought, but then here you're saying that you're going to state the contradictory view. That doesn't really make sense because they have asked you to what extent do you agree or disagree. I always think that it's a good idea to state the opposite point of view, but in order to do that, you can't completely concur with anything. Instead of that, what you could say is, while prevention is ideal, it is not possible to prevent every single crime, and therefore punishment is also required. Okay, so this is a much more sophisticated look at this issue, and you're basically saying, look, I see value to both points of view. Yeah, ideally we would prevent crime, but when this is not the case, we still need to have punishments in place. Okay, so that's the kind of answer that when an examiner sees it, he or she will say, okay, yeah, I'm going to read an essay now that looks at this issue from a broad perspective and not just some narrow, oh, I completely concur, or oh, I completely disagree. All right, so tackling it this way is a good idea, but you also have to do it appropriately. You can't just say it's a contradictory point of view. You have to show how it's your view, because it was to what extent do you agree or disagree. Okay, so from the moment you say that you completely agree with the one view, it doesn't make sense that you would provide the opposite point of view. I hope that's making sense. I hope it's clear. It's a really fine distinction that we're talking about, and it's something that I understand a lot of IELTS students don't understand. But when they ask you a question, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Yes, talk about both sides, but talk about them as if you can see value in both sides, okay? I hope that makes sense. I really, really do. If it doesn't, email us and just let us know. All right, let's take a look at your paragraphs. I see that you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. I don't know how I feel about that. We typically support a 4-paragraph structure, but let's see how you developed it. One of the most prominent reasons for my conviction is the credence prevention is better than cure. Taking care of the actions once they are done requires ample resources. Government is responsible for this. They need to allocate budget for a judicial system rather than using it for welfare. For instance, a lot of capital was saved by a European country by stopping criminal activities from occurring. All right, that's a very underdeveloped paragraph. In fact, if you look at it, it's as long as your introduction. That's not a good sign. You want to focus your development on your body paragraphs and far less on your introduction. Your introduction was fine in terms of its length, but the fact that your body paragraph is the same length as your introduction for me is a sign that it definitely needed more development. Let's look at the next paragraph. Another upholding factor, that's the wrong word, upholding. Another factor is the impact that such casualties have. Casualties is also not the right word. Not only on the victim's life, but also on the delinquents. To exemplify, if a person is murdered, he cannot be revived. This affects, with an A, not an E, the family of the dead immensely. What are you trying to tell us? I don't understand this. Also, the kin of the accused suffer humiliation all their lives. What does that have to do with anything? What does this have to do with crime prevention? And what does that have to do with crime punishment? So if you're making some sort of mental connection, you're not letting your reader in on it. You have to explain to us what is the connection to what you're saying with the question that is being asked, okay? Because I don't understand it. All right, on the contrary, there are masses who favor the system of punishment. The prime cause for their notion is the inability to predict any human's behavior. They think not every act can be prevented. Additionally, they feel that harsh punishments, get rid of the, will force the evil minds to think before doing wrong. All right, again, underdeveloped, very underdeveloped. And also the order of your paragraphs is wrong. Supposedly, this is the opposite point of view you don't agree with. It should have come first. So, introduction, then this, and then the side that you support. Okay, that's the way we organize our paragraphs. First we talk about what we don't support, then we talk about what we do support. Let's go into your conclusion, then we'll talk more in detail. To recapitulate, as highlighted above, finding methods to encourage people to not commit crimes in the first place is a practical solution to be taken into consideration. All right, this to me felt like a very underdeveloped essay. This should have all been in one paragraph. You would have had 2 main ideas that basically supported the main central idea, which is that, you know, prevention is key, not punishment. But it just all felt very underdeveloped to me. There was more to say. There was more to write. There was more to discuss to all sides of this issue. Okay? I really want to see you on the online course. I'll explain to you why. There's nice elements to your writing, but you absolutely need some assistance in organizing your answer, in developing your answer. And I'm confident we can help you do that. So I really want to see you on the online course so you can learn all about the template we have to help students develop their answer in a coherent, well-structured way. Okay? Look at it, please, as an option. I really want to see you on the course because I think you'll benefit from it dramatically. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing more of your essays very soon.